tell us what happened again.
Why don't you start from the beginning?
Yeah, we want to hear it from you.
Yes, I know I said some harsh things in the letter. I accused you of being hypocritical, but I just couldn't believe it when I saw him at the rally the other day, holding the placard that I helped put together, the one that said, "Women's rights are human rights." How ironic, I thought, that a guy who would probably come onto a lamppost if you dressed it in a skirt would be holding such a sign. I remember painting those words in red, thinking about the woman at the center, Celia. Her employer sexually assaulted her, but she couldn't file charges. Do you remember? She didn't have a visa, and so her asshole boss kept her passport so she couldn't leave. Do you remember the words we got from the New York chapter? Women workers want protection, not employers with erection. Nina, you said you convinced the board to kick him out. You told me I wasn't going to have to deal with him again. He wasn't supposed to be there. I saw some of you go up to him and shake hands, the guys giving him high fives. I mean, how could you?
So tell us what happened again.
Why don't you start from the beginning?
Yeah, we want to hear it from
Do you
you.
have issues with your childhood?
It's been over a year since that happened. I told some of you about it. Asked you to keep it a secret. I couldn't come to terms with it for the longest time. I blamed myself for it. I was drunk. I was irresponsible. I know some of you are hearing this for the first time. You didn't know it was me. You were just told that he was being suspended indefinitely because he had sexually harassed someone outside of the org. I remember the animosity then. Everyone was angry, but I wasn't quite sure if it was at him or at the accuser. What were the circumstances, you asked? Maybe she's mistaken. He's just a big flirt. Me? Are we going to take her word for it? Did she file a police report? You wanted me to come forward then, tell my story, but I wasn't ready. But after seeing him again, I knew I had to speak out.
So tell us what happened again.
Why don't you start from the beginning?
Yeah, we want to hear it from
Do you
you.
have issues with your childhood?
Do you have a drinking problem?
It started at Tessa's birthday party. All of you were there. We just came back from the big rally at the consulate. My girlfriend Pam wanted me to go home with her after the protest, but I wanted to hang out with all of you. Celebrate Tessa's birthday, debrief. Pam and I got into a big fight. She thought I was spending too much time with all of you, and she's probably right. Anyway, I was so angry and frustrated, but I didn't want to talk about it. I knew I shouldn't have drunk so much, but I get racy sometimes when I do, but we were having so much fun. I was among friends, comrades, kasama. I felt safe. Gina had her guitar and we were sitting around in a circle just like this singing protest songs all night. Tayo ba ang mga Maria Clara, mga huli at mga sisa? Fuck! I can't believe you're making me tell this story again. What, the letter I wrote wasn't enough? Why? Because he's your friend? Because he's a funny guy and he makes you laugh? Because you went on a medical mission with him to Chiapas and sang protest songs at the picket lines? You want to give him the benefit of the doubt because he's your fucking friend. Well, guess what? He was my friend too. I trusted him. So what if everybody saw me flirting with him? So what if I let him put his arms around me? I was drunk out of my mind. But no one asked me if I needed a ride home. No one asked me if I was okay. Nor asked me why I was drinking so much. I should have stopped, but I couldn't. I was determined to self-destruct, tired of having a girlfriend who dismisses me as a raving red activist, tired of being the only out lesbian in a straight macho organization. Yes, I'm calling it like I see it. These chants we mouth in rallies about freedom and justice? Whose freedom, really? Whose justice?
So tell us what happened
Why don't you
again.
start from the beginning?
We want to hear
I
it from
think
you.
you have issues with
Do
your
you
childhood.
have a drinking problem?
We have to think about this as a collective, you know.
Tessa, I wish you had just asked me to sleep over. And you, James, you saw him trying to kiss me in the hallway. You saw me pushing him away. But you just tapped him on the shoulder to say goodbye. Take her home, pare, you said. Yes, I remember pushing him away before I passed out. Woke up with him on top of me on his bed. Too drunk to fight him. And at that moment, I hated him. But I hated myself more. I was in and out of consciousness. The next morning, I left before he woke up. I couldn't even look at him. And so when I saw him with all of you the other day, He raped me. And I'm sick and tired of apologizing for it. I thought this was why we were all here. Because it didn't matter if it happened to me or to your sister or to a Mexican woman at the border. What if your daughter came to you one day and she told you she was raped by your father, by your comrade, by fucking Karl Marx himself? Would you call a family meeting and have her sit in a circle like this? Have her explain each and every detail? Have her justify her rage? Would you? That's right. Oppression exists elsewhere, but not here. Not in this. What do you call it? A safe circle? Bullshit. I don't need to be here.